Hey guys, good evening to all of you. We have with us Roohi Kulkarni Kale. She is a canine behaviorist and a fantastic trainer. I'm sure it's going to be a good time today discussing destructive chewing and mouthing in puppies with her. Over to you, Roohi. I think you can give a one-liner introduction and we can get started.
Hello, lovely people. Thank you for joining us. So, I'm a certified canine trainer and behaviorist. I've done my courses under Cherian Merchant, and I've also done an international trainer's course. And I am glad to help you out with your destructive chewing puppies. So, let's start, right? I
Yep.
am
Okay.
pumped.
All right. Let me see. Okay, so how many of you guys have had puppies chewing up your shoes, puppies chewing up the legs of your sofas, and so on and so forth? What else, Ruhi? What else do they do? What are the other
So,
issues that you?
generally, when I get a call, it's for, oh my God, my puppy is chewing everything. He's chewing
Okay,
me, he's chewing the bed, he's chewing his toys they never chew for some
okay,
reason. He's chewing my mother's saris and everything under the sun. My Jimmy Choos maybe.
but generally one of each pair, right? They don't go for the second one from
Yeah.
the same pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll go only for the right, or some will only chew on the left pair and then just leave the other pair. Yeah. Yeah. Somehow they're very
Okay.
smart.
Okay. And what else do you hear from people complaining? What else are they up to?
Yes. So generally, if let's say you have a dog who chews and you try
Mm-hmm.
to leave him alone, so the first thing he's gonna do is whine and whine and whine and then bark and bark and bark. And then if you
Yeah.
don't let him out, then he's gonna poop on your bed, isn't he?
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's typically something that you see when you have guests over at your house and you put your puppies in your guest bedroom and lock them up behind the door. And then by the time you
Yes.
get back, the puppy has chewed up something and most probably have left you a little bit of a piece of love, probably the puppy, a piece of poop on the
Yes.
bed. Have you seen that?
Definitely. Oh my God. Most of my clients face this problem. And if they try
Okay.
to bring the puppy out that, oh, poor puppy, let him meet the guests, then the first thing that the puppy does is go and chew on the clothes or the hands or the legs of the guests,
With those
right?
razor sharp teeth.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Painful.
All right. So these are all the issues that you keep hearing about in puppies. You have puppies chewing your hand, puppies chewing everything else that a puppy is not supposed to chew, puppy who cannot stay by herself or himself. And yeah, so that makes your life slightly miserable at some point in time, chewing slowly, slowly, slowly on the corner of your brain. So let's
Yes.
get to figuring out what kind of solutions we can talk about and think about in these circumstances. So Ruhi, can you tell me, what have you seen around? What how do you generally work around with these puppies? Some basics of what we can do with these puppies to stop every bad behavior that we can see. We are looking at maybe basic commands, basic training in terms of maybe crate training. I don't know what your opinion is on crate training, so we can discuss any of these things that we need to teach the puppy so as to give it a really good foundation to start a successful life with the puppy owner, with its new family. So what do we do? What do you want to start with, basic commands or crate training? What is the basic? What's the first thing that comes?
So I think they do really go hand in hand. One cannot really exist without the other. So
Okay.
if, for example, somebody calls me and they want me to train their dog and let's say a puppy, right? They've
Hmm.
just gotten a puppy. So the number one thing that I would tell them is, okay, go get a crate. And the number
Okay.
two thing is this little piece of miracle. This is a Kong
Hmm.
toy. So
A
you get
Kong toy,
these,
yeah.
yes, solves a lot of your problems if you train your dog correctly to really enjoy it.
Okay.
And so I do train for the crate, the dog to enjoy the crate, not to hate it, like a lot of people think that it's a jail.
Mhm.
And I do train the dog to enjoy the Kong. Apart from that,
Okay.
there are 7 basic commands that I just definitely teach.
Mm-hmm.
Number one is the look at me command. So
Okay.
in the doggy
Do they
world,
have to
dogs
look
don't
at
look.
you with those puppy eyes?
Well, if you've not trained, then the dog will train you to give into those
Okay.
puppy eyes. So it's best to
Mm,
just train the dog to look at you when you want the dog to look at you. When he wants
right.
to ask permission, should I bite this or should I not bite this? So you just
Mm,
first ask the dog, look at me, and then maybe you get those 3 seconds, you have the dog's attention, and then you can
mm-hmm.
think, okay, is he munching on his chew toy or is he munching on my Jimmy Choos, right?
Okay.
If he's munching on the chew toy, go ahead. But when you
Mm-hmm.
have your dog's attention, that is when you can actually give the dog a command and he will definitely follow that command, right?
Right.
So number one is a look at me. Then come your sit down and stay, which really give
Okay.
you a lot of control in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
um then comes your
So
recall.
when
Yeah.
yeah, when you say look at me, how long can you get them to look at you for?
Oh, till the time you ask the dog to stop
So
looking
what
at
is
you.
really the
Or
reason behind this look at me command? I think this is like really important to have the look at me, and if not, sit down and stay. Sit or down or stand and stay, but stay. So
stay.
so when we look at talk about look at me and stay, what's the basic behind it, and how do you get the puppy to do that?
Okay. So look at me, like I said, it really gets the dog's attention. You know
Right.
for sure that whatever comes out of your mouth, your puppy
Mhm.
is going to hear it. So you're not in a
Right.
confusion ki, oh, did my puppy hear my command?
Right.
So you don't have to repeat your command, right? Otherwise, a lot of people just go, ah, puppy, 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 sit, 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 sit,
Oh
stay, stay,
yeah.
stay, 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 stay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's another
Uh,
thing I really want to come to. How do you give a command? Because all I hear people is, no, 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 no,
oh,
puppy, puppy, puppy,
God.
puppy. So you hear a lot of it. So let's again come back to how do you give a command as well? Yeah,
Number one, first and foremost, get your puppy's attention. If he doesn't know the look at me command, just get the attention.
Ruhi,
L-
Ruhi,
Yeah,
listening?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
go for it.
yeah. So that's how you get the attention. Now, once
Right.
you know that the dog is paying attention to you and not the leaf, that
Mm-hmm.
is when you give a command. So, a
Mm-hmm.
command, you need one, a hand gesture, and
Mm-hmm.
two, a verbal command. So, let's
Mm-hmm.
say that you are asking the dog to do a down. So, you are
Mm-hmm.
doing this, and you're also saying, Bruno, down,
Mm-hmm.
and you give 3 seconds for Bruno to actually adhere to the command.
Okay.
So, what happens is if it's a large dog, he will move his bum, adjust, and then go into a down. So, we
Okay.
think, yeah, Bruno is not listening to us. But that's not the case. You have to give them 3 seconds to listen to your command to start moving their body,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you wait. Once the dog has followed your command, that is when you reward. Now,
Okay. So while
yeah.
doing all of this, can you just elaborate on the kind of environment you should be doing this training and what should be the energy levels with the puppy and you also while you're doing this? I mean, a lot of times sometimes you have little kids, you have little kids at home who is super excited. They are screaming and they're generally excited around the dog. So when
Yes.
you train your puppy, do you want to train your child and the puppy together, or do you keep your child away and train the puppy and then take your child and train your child? How do you do this?
So when you start the training, you start
Mhm.
in the quietest environment possible. So maybe take your puppy in the bedroom and shut the door. Once
Right.
the puppy knows the command and is following the command, that is when you
Clarification
start.
there,
Yeah,
guys. You
yeah.
have to be in the bedroom with the puppy when you're shutting the door, not outside the bedroom and the puppy inside the
Yes.
bedroom. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. Don't enjoy alone time in the bedroom. Take the
Yeah.
puppy in the bedroom or the quietest room possible. And why I say shut the door is because, a lot of people will come and try to bother you or want to see what you're doing. So, quiet environment,
Right.
train for the command. Once the puppy knows the command perfectly and is following it to the T, that is when you start
Mm-hmm.
increasing the distractions. So the distractions could
Mm-hmm.
be a child running around. The distraction could be another dog, the distraction could be another chew toy or guest, etc., etc. Or the
Mhm.
distraction could simply be maybe you're outside in a park.
Okay.
So you
So
gradually
before you
increase the
go out,
distraction. Yeah.
I think for just for me to summarize on, we are discussing on how to get with preventing destructive chewing and mouthing. But while we get to it, what we are trying to do is to discuss some basic commands, basic process that we can go through to build the right foundation to for your puppy to have the right start. So first of it is to kind of get started on having the look at me command. But here is Roohi explaining how the look at me command can be done. So you're in your room with your puppy with no other distraction, and you're getting the process started. Yes, carry on.
Yes. Yes. So now, for example, now I have two Kong toys here. So let's say I'm using two toys. So
Mhm.
generally, take two treats of the same size if your dog is into treats or if your dog is
For
into
people who are
toys.
watching us, Ruhi, they don't know what a Kong toy is. Could you tell them,
Yeah.
and could you tell all of us what a Kong toy is?
All
In
right.
my dictionary, Kong is not, is equal to indestructible toy.
Yes, it
Can you show it to us?
is.
Can you show it to us? Yeah, just show me one of them.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
guys.
this,
So if you have a look at it, it's a nice, strong, solid piece
yeah,
of rubber, synthetic material, but it has got a hollow. Yeah, that's inside, which you can fill with
yeah.
treats
You
and
can
stuff.
just fill in
Yeah.
stuff. This is a medium size red Kong. So this kind of works for maybe like smaller dogs like um not your cocker, but maybe a beagle this will work for.
Mm-hmm.
Or I used it for Maya when she was a puppy. And
Mm-hmm.
so the color red is the generic classic Kong. If you
Mm-hmm.
have a dog who is a heavy chewer, who
Mm-hmm.
can just shred everything to pieces, then I would suggest you get the black version of the Kong.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Oh,
indestructible. Yeah.
oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay. Okay.
If you have
So,
even a Rottweiler who can chew through wood, he won't be
mm-hmm.
able to chew through it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Are these both available here locally?
In Nagpur
Uh, I mean, generally in India.
or
I
in
can't be
India
so sure.
locally.
Can't
Yeah.
be so sure of Nagpur maybe, but yeah.
Yeah. So you can get these online. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
And you
Okay.
do get these in the good dog stores, to be honest. But guys, please get the correct size. So for a golden retriever, this is the XL size. I prefer this. A lot of people buy the large. I really don't prefer giving a large to a golden retriever or a lab because
Mm-hmm.
there's just more food that can be stuffed in. It has a larger opening as well. And so
Mm-hmm.
when they can chew, they get more satisfaction out of it.
Okay. And for a Cocker Spaniel, what size would you look at?
A large.
Okay.
So Kong does have a size reference chart,
Mm-hmm.
and they do give. So Cocker Spaniel, I think they would suggest a medium or a large. So in the
Mm-hmm.
chart, I always go for one size up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So now let's get back into that room with that Kong toy and the puppy. You
Yes,
are focused on getting the puppy to look at you and sit.
right. So say you have two treats of the same size or two toys of the same size. I have two Kongs. Just assume that they're of the same size right now. So what you
Mhm.
do is first you show your dog that you have these with you. So it's like, oh,
Okay.
see, puppy, and your energy needs to be high because it's a puppy, right?
Yeah.
And and the puppy is gonna go everywhere, and the puppy wants to do everything. So you're the most interesting thing right now in the planet for him, right? So keep your
Mm-hmm.
energy high and show, see, puppy, what I have, see, puppy, what I have, and show it to him. I have this in one hand, I have this
Okay.
in another hand. You have to really
Okay.
make him smell, right? I have this, okay? So
Uh,
keep it on your eye level. So what you will
Okay.
see is now the puppy's eyes will keep on darting from here to here, here to here, here to here, right?
Okay.
Because two very interesting things, same things, right?
Right.
But there will come one moment where the puppy looks at you because your eyes are right in between what he wants. So he'll look at
Right.
you and he'll be like,
Oh.
what do you want? So
Uh-huh.
that is the moment when you reward him. Good boy.
Okay.
That is when you reward. So you need to have a few repetitions of this. So your dog
Mm-hmm.
will then, once you again do the see what I have, see what I have, what you will see is when you do this, the dog doesn't look at the toys or the treats, he looks at you. That is when you reward him. Good boy, good look at
Okay.
me. And that is when you put in the command. Bruno, look at me.
Uh,
That is a good boy. And then you extend the command. That is a good boy, good dog. Here you go.
okay. Oh, that's a fantastic cue on how to go with that. I never thought of it that way. So two treats equally good, identical treats, and then okay.
Identical. Yes.
All right. So now you've got your puppy looking at you. Puppy eyes.
Yes.
Where do we go
Yes.
from here?
Yes.
You
So
have
the
the
other
attention.
yes. So the other commands that I definitely teach is your sit, is your down, is your stay. These are your control
Mm-hmm.
commands. And your stand as well.
Okay.
So what
Mm-hmm.
happens is if you just teach the sit and the down, what will happen is the puppy starts to anticipate. So once you tell him sit, he know, okay, oh,
Okay.
she's gonna ask me to do the down. So I'll just do a sit and then I'll do a down. So he's not really listening to you, is he? So you must teach him at least
Yeah.
three obedience commands: a sit, a down, and a stand. So he doesn't know if you're gonna next ask him to stand
So
or to
the
do a
most
down.
all the time I see people doing sit down and stay in that order. So as soon as you say sit, you see the puppy going down.
Yeah.
So
And that
so
is an
how do you
epic
jumble up?
disaster. That's an epic disaster. So,
Okay.
and also what I've seen, so you, like I mentioned, right? You need to have one hand gesture for the command and one verbal
Mhm.
command, right? Which could
Okay.
be
Okay.
anything for your dog, but it has to be
Mhm.
consistent. So if a
Okay.
lot of people do this, sit,
Mhm.
right? So this
Okay.
can be the hand gesture. It can.
Mhm.
But then you have to stick to this. This is the sit. So when I do
Mhm.
this, you're going to sit. But
Okay.
what a lot of people do, down, down, down. So the puppy is like, oh, what do you want? So they're mixing up
You're
the
tricking me
commands.
there. So if
Yeah.
sit is this, what is down?
Down.
Ah. Okay.
So
Down.
generally when I train, this is the sit, this is
Oh.
the down,
Mm.
and this is the stand,
Okay.
and this is stay.
Stay.
Yeah,
Mm.
because that is how
Fantastic.
the dog's body naturally moves.
All right. So,
Yeah,
guys, I think we have summarized it into four commands: look at me,
yeah.
sit down, stand, and stay. All
These
four.
are the basic. The most important commands are yet to come, which is the leave it and the
Ah,
impulse control, which is your no. Not
right.
no, 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 no. It's no.
No!
No, it depends on what the dog is doing.
All right. So,
Yeah,
um, okay, so let's get to the no command, or do you want to get to the leave it command? I think we should do the leave it command and then we'll come to the no command. Let's say the
sure.
puppy is fairly obedient at the moment. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Hmm.
All right. So leave it command works when your puppy already has something in his mouth, right? He's
Right.
already has it. And now what do you do? Number one thing is don't do yeah, no, 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 come back and run after him, right? That is what we
Hmm.
do, especially if it's something valuable that the dog has taken, right?
Right.
But what you do, number one, is make it into a game of fetch. So don't
Ah.
chase after him, call him to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bruno, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. So if he already has it in his mouth, he's gonna come to you.
Right.
Now, how do
Right.
you make him leave the item, which is what the problem is? कुत्ता आ तो जाता है but छोड़ता नहीं है, right?
Okay.
Okay. So you have to practice the leave it command separately. Okay, it will not work if you practice it when your dog has already taken something and is happily in his world. So what
Mm.
you do is sit down with your dog, take a toy. I prefer to take a rope toy. It's the easiest to teach a leave it command. Okay.
Right. Mm.
I'm using the Kong right now, my favorite. Okay. So let's say you have to teach leave it. So make it very excited. Okay. Make him want it. So Bruno, come on, take it, take it, take it, take it. Okay. So he will want to grab onto it, right? The moment he grabs onto it, don't ask him to leave it or don't snatch the toy away. You're gonna
Okay.
make your life worse. So okay,
Okay.
he's put his teeth on us, he's holding, you're like, good boy, okay, okay. So you're
Okay.
playing with it because he needs to know that playing with you is also fun.
Okay.
Now you want him to leave it. Okay. So you're playing with him and see how I'm all energetic. Yes, good
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
Yeah, you're playing. Yeah, because you're supposed to play on the toy. So good job
right.
playing with the toy. Great, right? Now I want him to leave it. So I'm going to
Mm,
use my entire body language to tell him that I don't like it right now. So just
right.
stop what you're doing. So I'm going to
Right.
do like, and I'm going to hold the toy. So now it's the most boring thing in the whole world. So yeah, I'm holding it tightly with both my hands. I'm not gonna pull it closer to me.
Right.
I just have it here. And then I watch the dog's body language. You'll see his brain working. You'll see when he's just thinking of removing his teeth, opening his mouth. And that is when you catch him. He'll do this and he'll be like, okay. And that is when you say, leave it, and he'll be like, okay, fine, it's boring as it is. The moment he
Mm.
leaves it, you take the toy away and you say, good boy, that's a good boy.
Can you explain that excitement that was there before, and how did you kill it, and then how did you get the dog to leave it? I think that energy level is what, that kind of helps you get this leave it command in place. So how do you do?
Definitely. Definitely. So everything is based on your relationship and your energy with the dog, right? If you're the most fun thing, so look at my eyes, they're like all big, right? They're all big. Yeah, and I'm laughing and I'm having fun because we're having fun. I'm the best thing in the world for my dog, yeah?
Right.
Because right now we're playing with a chew toy and I want him to chew on this. Great.
Right.
So come here, come here, come here, come here. And see my tone, it's like increasing. Yeah, it's come here, come here. Yes, 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 good boy. And then he grabs onto it. I'm like, good, this is a chew toy. So grab onto it, bite it, yes, yes, yes. And we're like really moving the toy, and my energy is high. Good boy, yes. And then
And then
then I decide. So right before he goes into a frenzy, a lot of people, what they do is they just let the dog tug till the point that you'll see that the dog just starts shaking his head violently. You've
Mhm.
lost the dog there. He's not going to listen to anything you say after that. So
Right.
don't push it till that point.
Hmm.
Just stop right before it and just, well, yes, 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 good boy, good boy, good boy. And then you see his brain working and we'll be like, oh, this is boring. Let me leave this. He'll do this. And you say, leave it. He left, take the toy away. Good boy. That is a good boy. And what is
All right.
important? You start the game again because you're a fun
Okay.
person, not a boring.
Okay. So play and repeat.
Yes. So you practice this separately. So when your dog picks up your Jimmy Choos, he will want to leave it. Don't play with the Jimmy Choos, okay? Don't do this with the Jimmy Choos. Hold and leave it. He will leave it.
I know two things now.
Yes.
You love the name Bruno for the dog, and you love.
Ah, yes.
All right. So moving on from there, I guess now we have quite a few commands in place. We have look at you, look at
Look at
me.
me.
Yeah,
Don't look at you.
look at me. Sit, stay, down, stand, and leave it. I
Leave it.
think that's the basic of anything
Yeah.
that you want to do or work with the puppy. And now for
Yes.
the most popular command.
The no
No.
command.
No.
No. Okay, do you want me to
No,
teach?
no, no, do not know.
Which one do you
All right.
want me to teach?
Sorry?
Because which one do you want me to teach? The
Which
no
of the
or
no
the
no
no no
knows?
no 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 no?
Yeah, 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 that one.
Because I don't know what no 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 is. Okay, that does not exist in my dictionary, and neither
Right.
does your dog. Okay, because when you do no 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 no, see the excitement level. It's
Mm-hmm.
like playtime. Yes, this is fun. I'm gonna do it more, right?
Okay.
And
So,
like I said, yeah.
sorry, I'm cutting you off again right now. Before we go further with the no command, I want to put one question up where there is Cheryl Nima Toro asking, how many commands can we teach a pup at a time? Should a pup master one before we move on to the next?
Oh, not at all. You
Mhm.
have to start teaching the basic commands simultaneously. And you can even throw in a few fun commands like shake hand and give me a high five or roll over, depending on what he's doing. So he will offer you a lot of good behavior. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to bank on it. So if he
Mm-hmm.
automatically does the sit, you bank
Mm-hmm.
on it. You teach him the sit and the down and the stand simultaneously, and then work together to strengthen those commands.
Right. A lot of times when you go out to feed your puppy, when it's meal time, the puppy is already looking at you because you're holding the bowl, and the puppy is starting to sit down. Would you think that would be a good time to get started with this?
Absolutely. If your dog is offering you a good behavior,
Mm,
always reward it.
right.
Always. Yeah.
So, all right. So I think Cheryl, you got your answer on that. We will come back to more questions and the rest of it later. But let's get back to the no, 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 no command.
All right.
Right.
So for me, the no command is basically an impulse control command. What that
Mm,
means is whatever the dog is thinking of doing, I don't want him to do. So I
mm,
say a no, and he must just leave it alone or not do that. It could be
mm,
anything. I could say no to jumping on guests. So if he's thinking of jumping, I could say if there is maybe a treat lying around, I could say no, you can't have it. So he must just leave it alone. It could
mm.
be anything and everything. So how you teach
So
the no command? Yeah.
did you say while the dog is thinking about doing it?
Yes, you have to catch the dog in the thought. So
Yeah.
watch the dog's body language. You will see his ears twitching, his eyes going, I see something. You'll see his
Mm,
nose working, right? You can see. So if you think, and a lot of, I know a lot of you also know that, ki, oh, हाँ, वहाँ पे दिख रहा था, I could see that there is a piece of cake lying, and I could see that, he was looking at it, but then he
mm.
just went and ate it.
I knew he was going to go for it,
I
but
knew it.
you didn't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. So
All
stop
right.
him in the thought. The no command
Mm.
is whatever you're thinking, I don't want you to do it, so don't do it. Right?
So,
So
guys,
the
you have to get into your dog's brains. You have to start looking at what he's thinking about. It's very
yes.
important you keep observing your puppy a lot. Understand what he's thinking when you look at his ears, when you look at his eyes, when you look at his nose. You have to
Yes.
know, oh, there's something cooking in his head. So that's very important. Once you know that your dog is thinking and that you know what he's thinking, now's the time for the command. Ruhi, come
Yes.
on, tell us more.
And
Yeah.
and the more you train your dog, the more your relationship is going to improve with the dog, and the more you'll start to understand what is my dog up to. You'll start to
Mm,
understand your dog more. So to the no command. So the easiest way to teach a no command is okay. First, start off when the dog is not hyperactive. Okay, when the dog is tired, he's done everything, he's done his playtime, and he's relaxing, and he doesn't really want anything more in life, right? So
mhm.
again, take like a piece of treat, but take like a very low value. Okay, so maybe he doesn't like his dog food, or he doesn't like whatever, this piece
Please
of
don't
big.
tell me he doesn't like dog food.
A
I
lot
want to give
of
you a high value treat. Okay, next.
yeah,
Go on
so
to the
what?
next question.
Okay, so maybe you're feeding him. Don't feed Parle G, for the love of God.
No,
Okay, it's a
no, no.
glucose biscuit. Don't do that.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever random dog biscuit you have, which he doesn't really like, but
Yeah,
will eat, right?
yeah.
So you take it and you keep it in your palm. Okay. Now the important thing is your energy right now has to be balanced, because right now if you go like, hey, see, Bruno, what I have, so he's gonna get excited. You don't want
Mm,
that, right? So you see, okay, I have this. See what I have? I have this treat. Okay. Now that I have this treat, he will try to sniff it, and what you do is close your fist.
mm,
So that you don't need to say anything at this point in time. So because it's closed, automatically he doesn't have access to it. So
mhm.
he will try all sorts of behaviors, right? He will maybe look at you. If that's
Okay,
the case, then good. Just say good boy, but you don't need to give him this, right?
okay.
He may try to paw it, but again, ignore it. Do not move your fist. The
Mm,
moment he calms down is when you say good dog, okay? But
mm.
again, you do not give him this. You put it away in a box and then
Okay.
reward him with something else that you had kept aside.
Ah,
You do not give him this because this is no. So no means no, you are never going to get this.
Okay.
Try this. Once you're done with this, show him with an open palm. He should automatically refuse it. Then
Mm-hmm.
again, put it on the floor, say no.
Mm-hmm.
He should ignore it. So that
Mm-hmm.
is how you kind of increase on the no command. Walk
When do you put
around.
in the
Yeah.
word no there? Earlier, you
Sorry?
just closed your fist,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I had it in my hand. I closed my fist. I was incommunicado with my dog.
Hmm.
He came, looked at me. I didn't, I said good boy, and I kept it
Hmm.
away. At what
Yeah.
point in time do I say no?
Right. So once your dog starts to show calm behavior without any intention of getting to the treat. So
Mm-hmm.
once your dog knows the drill, okay, the treat is here, but I am not interested at all. So he doesn't even try to sniff it. He doesn't try to
Okay.
paw it at all. That is when
Mm-hmm.
you put in the command. So how you do it is you
Oh,
take the treat and the next time you put the treat and you say no. So now the dog already knows the drill. So now the
mm,
word no actually has some kind of meaning attached to it. So no
right.
means that the fist is closed. I do not
Yes.
get it,
Right.
right? So when you move on and you have an open palm and you're so that time the dog already knows the no command. So you put the treat in, you say no. So
Okay.
the dog is like, oh, again, it's the same thing, but the palm is open. Maybe it will close. But in any case, I'm not supposed to get it. So I'll just look away. I don't want it. It's a good boy. But again, put this treat away, get another
Mhm.
treat. Good dog. And after a certain point, you do not need to reward your dog with treats. Increase
Mhm.
your value. So the reward ultimately is you. So your good boy and your pets, they are
Right.
the ultimate reward.
Okay. So while you say that your value has to go up and your petting or your good boy is, the ultimate reward, should you then be not generous with it all the time? Don't you think the puppy has to do something right to get that petting and good boy from you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I see
And
people doling it out like that every
I,
time they look at the dog. Oh, good boy. Oh, my baby. Oh, good
mm,
boy, and all of that. So, can you
yeah.
say where do we use restraint over there for on yourself or self restraint on raising a
So
puppy? Yeah.
yeah. So understand you are the biggest reward, right? So see, has the dog earned it? What is the dog
Mm,
really doing? If the dog
right.
is sitting nicely, you can say, okay, good boy. So I'm
Uh,
giving like a low value reward. If the
mm,
dog has done something brilliantly, like okay, a guest came and rang the doorbell and came inside, and your dog was still sitting calmly waiting for the guest, you could praise him a little bit more. That's a good boy. I'm so happy with you. What a good boy you've been. I'm proud of you, and give him a few more of the belly
mm,
rubs or the stroking. So that's how you judge. And it could be if he fetched something to you, what a good boy, lovely, brilliant. Yes, Bruno, I'm so glad. What a good boy. Yes. So that's how you kind of manipulate the reward as well. So the dog wants to please you more and more. If you give it
ah,
for free, he's not going to work.
yeah, he's not going to value it. So
Yeah.
be very conjuice with all the praises and petting that you have because that's high value currency that you always have on you. So don't
Definitely.
cut its value off and throw it away. Okay, now for the
Definitely.
rest of the session, we are midway through the session. Shall we change the puppy from Bruno? Shall we take another puppy?
Yeah. I think a lot of people want to know how do I stop my puppy from mouthing, from biting
Hmm,
me? That's the
interesting.
one question I get all the time.
What is mouthing? I think as soon as we started our conversation, we had a question from Mira. Mira was asking, could you explain for everyone who's watching us about mouthing? I think that question was somewhere around. Ah, yes. She was asking, can you tell me what is chewing and why it happens? Um,
Okay.
so,
What is chewing?
mouthing,
Okay.
chewing, okay, we can. I
Yeah.
think chewing is pretty explained now
Yeah.
throughout the first half of the session. Let's get into
Yeah.
mouthing.
I
Mhm.
would just like to say one thing on Mira's comment.
Mhm.
So, for everybody to understand, see, chewing is a very natural behavior for a dog and a puppy, right? So, don't try to, how do I stop him chewing? That's not what you want.
Yeah.
You want to redirect the chewing to an appropriate toy, right? So,
Mm.
don't run after stopping the chewing behavior. right?
Yeah.
And put it on command, like we discussed, right? And
On
moving on
command
to,
chewing.
sorry,
On command chewing. That's fun. That's
on command chewing, start playing, okay, playtime, you can play, stop,
Hmm.
okay, playtime over, finish. Yeah, it works the best.
Okay. So we will go through mouthing before we get into the crate. I think getting into
Yes,
the crate for us is very important, but we'll get to
definitely,
that. But let's talk about mouthing.
definitely.
Razor sharp teeth.
Oh
Puppies
my
come home
goodness.
and they're teething, and they've got these razor sharp teeth happening, and they're mouthing on your hand, your legs. They're catching on your knees, your ankles, your shoes, your shoelace, everything. When does this get out of hand? When is it no more fun?
I think for me, it is never fun, to be honest. As
Mm.
a rule of thumb,
Hmm.
I believe that no dog teeth on human skin for a companion dog, to say the least, right?
Yes, I
So
agree.
if you've got a puppy and you're like really, really excited, so what happens is the puppy is excited to meet you, and then
Hmm.
he starts to kind of nibble a little bit on your fingers, and you're like, oh my god, so cute, he likes me, yes, this is my best friend, right? But then a
Yeah.
couple of days and weeks later, when the puppy has kind of adjusted to you and your home, it's no
Mm.
longer cute, right? Because he's really biting into it. But
Mm.
why is he doing that? One, because chewing is natural, mouthing
Mm.
on the human skin,
Mm.
because it has been allowed, is correct and normal for him, right? So everybody who's getting a puppy, I would say from day one, no puppy, no dog teeth on human skin, ever, right? Now, if
Includes
you
your
all,
shoelaces,
yeah,
which you're wearing, includes your ankles, includes
yes,
hanging on your jeans when you're trying to walk away or walk into the room. None of it.
yes,
Yeah.
includes your dupattas and your saris and your Jimmy Choos. Don't forget your Jimmy Choos, okay?
Oh, your love for Jimmy Choo's. Now we have Cooper in the room, who's the
Okay,
puppy with us. So Bruno's gone out,
great.
Bruno out, and Cooper in. Now let's say, what's Cooper up to? Yeah.
Okay. So generally, if you have any puppy who's teething, right, who's getting his puppy teeth, or his puppy teeth are falling and he's getting his adult teeth
Permanent.
anywhere,
Yeah.
yeah, permanent teeth anywhere till 6 months, he will be kind of mouthing, right? He would be teething. He would want to bite on something
Mm-hmm.
to kind of have some solace from the itching, right?
Okay, yeah.
So what you do is, again, one is you redirect it to a toy if it becomes extreme. He needs to chew on something, right? Okay. But how do you stop the mouthing? Right? He's mouthing on your hand.
Right.
How do you stop that? Right? So what you do is, again, you train him not to bite on you, because if you're busy, you're not really going to correct him each time, but that is what you need to do. You have to correct him each and every time. So you
Mm-hmm.
sit down with your puppy, right? Sit down with him, play with him a little bit. So you're petting him, you're doing like, who's a good boy, yes, what have you been up to, how was your day, you're doing all that, all right. And then the puppy is also getting all happy, yeah, 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 this is the best day of my life. And then he's looking blah 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 blah, and then
Uh,
his teeth come on your skin. The
right.
moment they come on your skin, it doesn't matter if it has hurt you yet or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it doesn't hurt you, the moment the teeth touch the skin, you have to kind of give him a jolt. So, how do you give
Mm.
him a jolt? You do ah.
Mm.
So, when you do that, it's a
Mm.
sharp, short noise, and it's
Mm.
kind of jolt him out. Oh, 1 minute you were like nicely playing, and what happened? What did I
Mm.
do? What happened? Right? And you're like, ow,
Mm.
yeah. And
Can
then
we go back again, getting into his brain at that point in time on what he's thinking and when he's planning to chew on your hand? Is that important?
definitely,
Yes. That
definitely,
timing.
right?
Can you talk timing again?
The timing is everything. So do not wait for him to, yes, I'm gonna come. I can
Mm.
see the hand. You know your hand is next to his mouth, near his mouth. You're kind of petting him. You know
Yeah.
he's opened his mouth and he's going to bite, right? Catch him in
In
the
the
thought.
act. Yeah.
Yes, yes, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
moment you do the ah, The dog will be like, oh my God, I do not like this. Whatever's
Mm,
happened, I do not like this. I want it to stop. So give
mm,
him some seconds to think. Then go back to your playtime, okay? Go
mm.
back to your playtime again because you're the best thing in the whole wide world. You're still playing with the dog and
High
you're play,
value
play, play.
items. High
Yes.
value items.
Yes. So you're
Uh,
playing, playing, playing. And then again, you'll see the dog thinking, yes, 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 this is getting fun. So see
mm,
the dog's energy also rising. When you see that and you see that, oh, he is going to bite you, the teeth just touch. And that is the time you again do, ah.
mm.
And if your dog already knows the no, if you've put in the no instead of the ah, you can also say no. So the dog will associate that, oh, no is something I'm not supposed to do. And this was terrible. I'm not going to do it ever again.
Right. I think that also answers one of
Hmm.
the questions we had just now. Cheryl had asked, can we say no? Yes, you can say no, but that is like a quick reaction, a jolt,
Yes,
which gets him to think, and then that's when you give the no command.
absolutely. And kind of the ah comes naturally to us when we get hurt as well, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's all, I mean, we've noticed right from the beginning of this conversation that it is the most important thing to catch your puppy in the act. The puppy
In
doesn't
the
get it
yeah.
after, the puppy doesn't get it before. It's only when it is in its brain, when you give the command, that's when you're clicking that picture. The can you explain it that way? That whole picture thing, and what kind of a picture can he form in his brain, and that sets it.
Yes. So
Hmm.
understand the dog's body language, right? You can, like I said, you can see the ears kind of twitching, you can see the eyes dead focus on the thing he wants, you can see the nose working, and you can see what he's thinking. At that time, you can actually see the toy or your hand in his head. So
Hmm.
when you see and you know for sure, that is when you put in the command no. You're not allowed to do that.
Hmm.
But what happens, Sharon, a lot of people kind of miss the bus, and because they've done the no, 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 or it's already happened, and they've overused the no command so much that it just
Hmm.
stops working. So,
Hmm.
what I would suggest for people who overused the no is if
Hmm.
the ouch doesn't work, because
Right.
we've just done the no so much. If the ouch
Mm,
doesn't work, the no doesn't work. Okay, you did this ouch, it's not working. You went back, you did the ouch, it's not working.
mhm,
Just get up, make a dead face. You're not interested in the dog anymore. Your playtime is over. So what I do is finish. I show
mm,
him it's finished, right?
mm,
I get up, I walk out of the room, I close the door shut for
mhm.
5 seconds.
Okay.
For five
Uh,
seconds.
for 5 seconds, I didn't wait for that. I could have been more patient. Yeah. Okay. For five
Yeah,
seconds.
for
All right.
5 seconds. I open the door again, and the dog has been like, What happened? Like we were playing, and what went wrong?" So that
Hmm.
kind of shows if you have a good relationship with your dog, if you've been training, the dog should understand that the biggest reward, which was you, was
Hmm.
taken away because he just didn't listen to your no.
That was a very, very nice point. So we're going to take one or two questions here. I just
Yeah,
want to run through this question because as we are talking, we're covering most of these questions. There is a
yeah.
question here about the Labrador 9-month old has started coming from behind and just grabs my hand. What do I do? So
Coming
I
from
think it's about
behind and
grabbing, probably mouthing the hand or grabbing the hand.
okay. So probably he's been yelled at a lot of times when he's come from the front to play with you.
Hmm.
What your dog has not really understood is what exactly is he not allowed? Is he not allowed to come from ahead? Is he not allowed to grab the hands? That he definitely doesn't understand, right?
Right.
And probably he's been punished a lot for it. So now he's kind of sneaking in so
Hmm.
that he doesn't get yelled at, but still gets to have the fun.
Right.
So again, so first teach him what exactly is it that you don't want him to do. You don't want him to bite your hands. So sit down with your dog and teach him that this, the biting of the hands, is what I don't want you to do. And then
Hmm.
kind of start practicing in scenarios. Try running around and be ready for the dog to come and bite you. Catch him again in the thought. So you're running around, you know the dog is right behind you. Stop in your tracks, turn around and say no.
Yeah. So
And you
Shraddha,
know
I think
that
while you run around and play, where you're really sitting is in your dog's brains. So you're
Yes.
really watching what your dog is planning to do, and then you're just timing it. And timing, like we discussed earlier, is everything about. Yeah.
Everything.
So
Yes.
another question we had is, what if while mouthing by our pups, the sharp ah or any sound excites the pup, like he starts barking or jumping? How do we react? I think this question, Elisha, we just went through it. You take away the most valuable treat from that scenario. That is you. You go out of the scene and you come back, and then let the puppy calm down and then continue with it.
Yes, absolutely.
So we have another question from Sagar. Can I start training a 2-year-old lab puppy?
Absolutely. You can start training any dog, any age, any breed, any size. You can start training anytime. I'm glad
But
that you're thinking of starting to train.
yeah, and a
Eh,
2-year-old lab puppy.
Puppy. So if you
So
believe he's still a puppy, then
yeah,
I am dead
absolutely.
sure you will be able to train him well.
Right. Sagar, so this was one of the questions I used to always have in my mind, my how do we work with an adult dog? And when I start listening to all you guys, trainers, I'm like, oh, this is such a revelation. I can work with any dog, any age. So I have got a new challenge with my wife. I have my first cocker with me. She is 7.5. So this was the first dog we got when we moved to Bangalore. So she is, I mean, not, she's got all kinds of health problems, but she still pulls on the leash and goes out. I can't take her out. And I mean, now also we have the space, so I don't generally take them out unless I'm training one of them. And this one, since I'm never going to take her for a show or anything, she just has fun and runs around. So I said, I'm going to take it as a challenge, and I think I'm going in for a treat. I don't know what if I really succeed to get her to walk peacefully on a leash. So I'm going to update it at some point in time. 7.5-year-old unruly cocker to walk heel. So let's see how that goes.
Absolutely. With an older dog, what happens is it's sometimes it's easier because you already have the relationship and you understand the dog's body language to the T. So use it to your advantage. And
Right.
also with an older untrained dog, the dog
Mm-hmm.
is untrained, but probably the human being is very well trained by the dog.
Mm-hmm. All right. So there is a question here from Shiva Prakash Santana Krishnan. How to train my lab for show dog?
I think you'll probably be able
All
to
right.
tell
So
that better.
I I will take that question. So Shiv Prakash, you've already heard the commands that she's taught us. Look at me is the biggest command I would say for a show dog. Look at me, stand and stay. That's all that you need, and the dog to run with you on heel or walk well for a Labrador. So look at me, stand, and no, stand was this, right, for you?
Yeah, this is Stan. Yeah.
This is stand and that is stay. But
So
that's
it's a
all that you,
movement, right? It's a
yeah,
movement. Yeah.
right. So Shiv Prakash, I think those three commands, that is going to be everything for you to train your show dog. You don't need anything else. The dog needs to have its undivided attention at the most valuable treat that he's got. That's you on your face, and that's it. You've got it done. So moving on. Okay, so we've done mouthing, we've done nose. I think now the puppy we have, Cooper, is listening to us. Bruno has been sent out of the room. So now Cooper is not the best when it comes to crate. How do we train him to sit in the crate?
Right.
Is
So
it
when
necessary to have him in the crate, first of all?
I believe so, it
Okay.
will, number one,
Mm-hmm.
avoid a lot of problems in the future from happening. Number two,
Mm-hmm.
make your life very easier to kind of get him into a schedule for your potty training, for your playtime, so you know when to exercise, for your food time. Everything is really regulated, and you can keep a track on what is he playing with. Is he not making a ruckus in my bedroom? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, really important to crate train.
Okay.
My puppy Maya was crate trained.
But
So
Cooper just
yeah.
starts yelling as soon as I put him in the crate. He wants to scratch, he wants to howl, he wants to do everything but not sit in the crate quietly. So, what do you do with that?
No. So if Cooper is crate trained and you've done everything right, you
Mm-hmm.
must ignore any whining and howling and those puppy eyes. Puppy eyes, so you shouldn't be in the room, first of all. You should
Mm-hmm.
ignore all those things. and you must
Mm-hmm.
go back to the crate only when you have your schedule. Okay, now is the time to get him out. You go back
Mm-hmm.
only at that time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so especially what I've seen is when puppies go to their new homes, and then they could be already crate trained, or they may not be already crate trained. But let's start with the case where the puppy's been crate trained, but he goes to the new house, and he just is not happy sitting in the crate. So how do you deal with that? I'm just going to ask for a cup of coffee in while we are at it. So
Okay. So,
yeah.
Cherian, the scene is not really that he's not happy sitting in the crate,
Okay.
because he is crate trained. So he is
Right.
happy in the crate. What goes
Right.
wrong is the owners feel, oh, where's my puppy? Let's just play with him. So they kind of mess up with the whole schedule, or
Mm-hmm.
kind of give him way too much of attention when he's in the crate. Maybe he'll
Mm-hmm.
whine a little bit, because
Mm.
obviously if he's changed places, right, changed
Yeah.
homes, so he is going to be slightly anxious, slightly nervous, maybe right? So you must give him time. But I would say no matter what happens, if he's in the crate at the correct time, you've done everything. He doesn't have to pee or poop. He's done with that. He's not hungry. You're done with that. You've done with the playtime. Do
Mm-hmm.
not entertain his whining, howling, barking. Tell your neighbors, just ignore it for some time, but do not go and open or let him out at that time at all.
Okay. But why do we need to crate train the puppy?
For everything. That is the basis of training him. That is the basis of your relationship with him. And most importantly, where do dogs like to stay, right? They like to stay in small, cozy, den like places. So,
Mm-hmm.
where do they stay? Right.
But that cozy den like behavior is not being shown when we put him into the crate. Why is that?
Okay, then probably you did not train him correctly. You maybe just bought a crate, opened the door and shoved him in and left him alone. That is not how you do. You have to crate train him. If you
Okay.
don't train him, it will go wrong very, very fast, and you will have more problems than you would have
Mm-hmm.
imagined. So you
Mm-hmm.
must crate train him correctly to
Mm-hmm.
benefit from the crate.
Mm-hmm.
And the dog needs to have a safe space of his own during the day, right?
How long does it take to crate train a puppy, Ruhi?
Frankly speaking, I crate train in 1 day. So
One
if you
day.
have a dog, yeah. If you
Right.
have a dog who has got no negative associations with the crate, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe if you've not shoved him in the crate already and he already associates the crate with a punishment,
Right.
then it may take days or weeks together to first
Right.
make him unlearn and then learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if he
Mm-hmm.
has got like no relationship with the crate yet, you can train the dog in 1 day.
So we'll get back to this crate training, and I want to, at this point in time, take a question, and that question is very, very important for everyone to see. We crate training never for me. I want to pamper the dog to the maximum. Have had so many, and they have always been the best.
Yes, they're always the best till you get that one who is like a big time nightmare, and you are like, till now, everything was right. I trained all of them. What went wrong with this? And
Hmm.
number two, I don't understand why people think of crate as not pampering the dog. I
Yeah.
wanted to pamper my dog, so I got the best crate for my dog.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had
And
in one of our earlier sessions, Mr. Sharad Sharma. He's somebody who's guided us a lot. He said, and that is the best analogy that I've ever heard. He said, getting a crate for your puppy should be as proud a moment for you as much as getting a nice baby pen for your baby, your own baby, a playpen for your own baby. So
exactly.
or like a car seat for your baby.
Right.
So back to this, why do people think or associate that crate training is the worst thing they can do to to their puppies?
So what I've heard from my clients is, one,
uh,
they think that it is a jail because probably
okay.
it looks all caged and it's so small,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do
Mm-hmm.
not like the idea of shutting your dog in a small place
Mm-hmm.
for hours on an end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And another thing what people think is, if he's a companion dog or if he's
Mm-hmm.
my baby, then he should be with me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all misconceptions. Number one, it's not a jail for your dog, right? It's the
Mm.
best thing. It's the den for him. It's like what a closed room is for a teenager. It's his
Mm.
safe space, right? He just wants to chill and unwind over there,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So don't deprive of them of it. Yeah. And another thing, I think people don't understand that your dog doesn't have to be inside the crates the
All
entire
the time.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to go
So
in
could you
specific
also say
times.
quickly,
Yeah,
we have 5 minutes left, so we really
yeah.
have to rush through this. Could you also tell people the importance of making a really good schedule for their puppy, starting from when they wake up to all the way till when they go to sleep? How many times they go into the crate, come out of the crate, come go back in the crate, come out of the crate. So just for me to summarize quickly, in the interest of time, guys,
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that you leave the puppy in the crate the entire day. The puppy
right,
doesn't stay for more than 2 hours. So let's get back to Ruhi and
right.
telling us more. And yeah.
All right. Yes. So whenever you get a dog, first and foremost, even before getting a dog, sit down as a family and make a schedule for your puppy that has to be followed to the T, right? Start from the morning. Okay, this is the time I'm going to wake up. So let's say it could be 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock is the time that a puppy wakes up. Okay. So he's woken up, you take him outside for his pee poop and play. So he's done with that. Then you kind of put in the food time. So maybe half an hour of playtime. Then he comes, then he eats half an hour. Then again he's tired. He's a puppy, right? So puppies get tired very fast. So again he's tired. Back inside, crate
While the
time,
puppy
nap
wants to
time.
please you all the time, guys, all that puppies want to do is to please you. They want to play as much as possible with you. But it's for you to figure that, okay, my puppy needs some well needed rest and sleep. So I need to put the puppy back, so that he gets his sleep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So definitely, if you know that this is your puppy's sleep time and your puppy is tired, don't force him to go and meet guests or play with your children anymore, right? That's going to set a very bad precedent. So if it's bedtime, the puppy goes back in the crate, has a nice nap, and then come out again. Same thing.
Straight
Wakes up
out to
from the nap
pee. Comes out
straight
of the crate
to
and straight
pee.
out to pee. And this is where crate training also helps you in figuring out the toilet
Toilet
training for your
training.
puppy. Sometimes, when
Yes.
most places, most times, when the puppy comes from its breeder's house, the puppy should already have a schedule. So you need to take that schedule,
Yes.
incorporate it into your schedule, and eventually make it to suit your schedule. Don't change your life
Yes.
around your puppy because that's not sustainable.
Yes. So that is why you need to sit down as a
Yeah,
family and decide what works for you best, and then
exactly.
take the breeder's schedule and kind of mash it up into a good
Absolutely.
combination.
So we
Yeah.
will talk more on the schedule. You can connect with Roohi on she's Coach the Pooch on Instagram. But we're going to take two more points here before we run out of the 60 minutes. Roohi, could you quickly tell us about Zoomies?
Oh my God. So zoomies. Okay. So once in a while, if your dog has zoomies, it's perfectly fine. But what
What are
exactly are
Zoomies?
yeah? So
What
what
are
are
Zoomies?
zoomies? So zoomies are like these random bursts of energy that your dog will have, maybe after eating or after playing or in between playing. Then he just goes like tuck 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 tuck. He'll be just doing round and round, round and round, round and round. He has no care in the world what he's doing, and he'll just keep on going round and round. Yeah.
Yeah,
At that time, he will not listen to any of your commands. He will not listen to his name. Also, he doesn't know what to do, but it
yeah.
looks like he's having a lot of fun, right? But
Is he
not
not having
always,
fun? Okay,
not always.
okay.
So
Tell us.
basically what happens is suddenly the dog has gotten very excited about something. So
Mm-hmm,
excitement could be out of something positive. If that's happened, it's okay once in a while. If it happens
mm-hmm,
every single day, then
mm-hmm,
definitely you need to kind of look into what is exciting him so much. So
mm-hmm,
one, he's either bored the whole day and then he sees you and all his energy has suddenly come out, and then he doesn't know what to do with it. So he gets hyperactive and overexcited, and then he doesn't know what to do. So the zoomies kind of happen, right?
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
ensure that you have given your dog a lot of physical and more importantly mental stimulus throughout the
Mm-hmm.
day. so that his energy is balanced. And a lot of zoomies do stem from some behavioral issues, anxiety. If you're forcing your dog to meet people and he hates people or other dogs, then you will see that he tries to run away and he doesn't know what to do. You try to grab on and he starts running and he
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't stop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a balance of a good physical and mental stimulus during the whole day would work out great.
Okay, more next time, Roohi. I think all of you guys should catch up with Roohi at Coach the Pooch on Instagram. And it was really lovely having you with us. I think we all had a great time.
This,
And
yes,
thank,
thank you
thank you
so
for
much.
teaching
This
us
was
the look
fun.
at me command. That was awesome.
Send
Thank
in
you very much.
videos with your dog doing the look at me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we should do that, guys. All of us try and make those videos with our puppies doing that. Let's get to Ruhi and catch her on and for her comments. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining
Okay.
us. Yes, thank you
Bye.
very much. Bye bye.